Hey, what's up, everyone? This segment is going to go where I usually talk about my favorite areas in Japan. But this one, I want to talk about something very important, and it's something that has been building up in Japan since after the pandemic. When Japan, opened, when they allowed flights for travelers to come in full force, it wasn't so bad. But with traveling, I guess you could say that with a lot more tourists coming to the locations, we are starting to see a lot of news in Japan that is not really good news, primarily of tourists being bad. And one, from a trailing geishas, this has always been a problem in Kyoto. That's why they had no choice but to start putting signs in areas that if you do follow a geisha, you can be subject to paying a fine. So the other one that has been coming up is the trash problem in Japan. So in Japan, when it comes to trash, one of the things that you'll notice is for tourists is that there are not a lot of garbage cans like in the United States. There's not a garbage can every location where there is a mall or grocery store, you name it. It's just not something you see. One of the problems is because in the past there's been problems with crows and also with rats, and they found out that I think it was in the mid '90s, that by eliminating those trash bins, not only did they eliminate a lot of the crows and a lot of the rats, they also noticed that they managed to make things a lot more cleaner. And also, it's something about the Japanese culture: clean up after yourself. It's when I go to Japan. Yeah, here's an example right here. When we were all cleaning up after a major Hanami party, everyone, everyone was cleaning up after themselves, making sure there was no garbage left. When I go to a baseball game, same way, everyone, pretty much they do not leave their stuff on the seats, or you put it in the trash bin. You have to be responsible that way. And the next thing is what I do, and this is not for everyone, but when I travel, when I every day when I go somewhere, I bring a backpack with a trash bag, well, with a plastic bag. Reason being is that you need to throw away your garbage, and there's not going to be many opportunities that you get to do that. So put it in your backpack, put it in the plastic bag, wrap it up, and when you get back to your hotel, then you can trash it. But yeah, it's getting bad. It's just really bad, and I'm like, you know, we can go through photos of just showing how you rarely see trash in neighborhoods, parks, just anywhere in Japan that you go, you do not see litter. You do not see trash. Don't get me wrong, it's there. It is there at times, but most of the time it's usually tourists or the homeless. Um, the homeless, you usually know it. You could usually tell because they tend to sleep in certain parks, and they have a knack of leaving a lot of cigarette butts in those areas, and also you could see the plastic bottles, and also And also, I'm just gonna be blunt here. You could tell by the discoloration of the bushes and the greenery, because you could tell areas where they pissed in. So those are usually in some of the more, I don't want to say bad areas, because they're not, Japan's not bad. It's just you have some locations that are just, where a lot of homeless tend to dwell. But also the thing is that in a way, not just tourists, but we're starting to see also young people also starting to follow certain bad habits as well. I think one of the worst examples of this is, of course, during Halloween. After Halloween, the amount of trash in Shibuya, the amount of trash in certain areas, of just people leaving their stuff. I don't know where people get the idea that they can just leave their trash, just leaving it on the ground somewhere, and hoping someone else will clean it up. It's just wrong. And so the thing is that you have to remember, Japan's a society where you clean up after yourself. It is a disgrace if you leave garbage behind. It's not something. Heck, you could watch like a baseball player like Otani, and you'll see him. If he sees litter on the ground, he'll pick it up. He'll pick it up and throw it away. There's been videos of like major soccer tournaments, or major like not just soccer but also rugby tournaments and others, where the Japanese, the Japanese audience are there picking up garbage way after people have left. They don't, helping out the sanitary, the maintenance workers, clean up, because they know that it's yucky, it's wrong. People should clean up after themselves, and it's sad that people don't do that. They expect, what, leave it to the janitors or so, the maintenance crew, they'll clean it up. And it's the same way happening in Shinkansen. Man, you do not want to leave your trash in there as well. When you're taking a long trip, when you see those areas where, because I think some people think when they fly an airplane, and you know how you have those little pockets right in front of you, people think, you know what, oh, this is where you could put your garbage in. No, no, no. Again, when you go to these places like Family Mart or wherever, just save those plastic bags, and when you go out, put in your backpack, and then if you have trash, put it in there, and when it's time to throw away, you have that opportunity, then throw it away. That's all it is. It's just so easy. But somehow people do not do that. And here's another example. It's just clean. You don't see trash anywhere. But that's pretty much, the main message of this video. Just clean up after yourself. And right now, there's such a bad stigma of foreign tourists right now that leave because of their because of the trash being left behind or thrown away, especially in areas such as parks, sporting areas, store areas. You don't, like, if you're going to be eating candy or something, you don't throw your wrappers on the ground for people to pick up. It's just wrong. Keep Japan clean. That's all I can say is stop littering. And if you have your own garbage, put it in your bag. I know a lot of people don't like to walk around with a backpack or anything, but sometimes you need to store things in there, and garbage is one of them. And yes, people say, well, this could be solved if Japan put garbage cans everywhere. Well, they used to do that, but they found out that there was less less littering, less rats, less crow problems when they don't leave garbage out there. So the thing is that it's worked for Japan for decades, and now it's becoming a major problem, and they're getting fed up. And it's there are videos going around of tourists being bad, and that's the last thing you guys want. Japan is such a wonderful place to visit, but it's not a place that you could treat like what some people do in their own area, their home country. If you're the person that throws trash in the ground, paper in the ground, and without throwing it away, that's just wrong. You know, it's just wrong. But you know what? That's all I can say. Clean up after yourself. That's all you have to do. It's so easy. I don't know why it's so hard for some people to do that. And there's so much news about it. But yet, when they travel to Japan, they still think, oh, you know what? I don't care. I'll just throw it away. No, no, no. Don't. It's so bad when people have to clean up after your mess. Sorry, but was about to say the bad word there. But yeah, don't just clean up after yourself. That's the main message of this video. So I'll leave it at that. So you all take care. I'll see you later, and hope you have the good rest of your day. Okay, bye bye. Wink, wink. Ah.